Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to this new live session of Thursday. We are going to be having these live sessions every week, every Tuesday, every Thursday. Thank you for joining today. Thank you for those who have joined before in the previous ones. We are up to, I guess, 14 live sessions, I believe. It's been a great experience so far, and that's all thanks to you attendees that are helping us build this uh, every day. So I'm going to get started. Today we're going to do some interesting things. What is Customily? Most of you installed the app quite recently and are either getting started with your store from scratch or beginning the process of selling personalizable products on an existing store. For both cases, we have the perfect tools to get started. Customily is an app that provides your store with live previews of products, along with options that your customers can interact with, changing those live previews with every interaction, from text typing to image selection to photo uploading. Your preview will change live and give you a realistic example of how your customization will look on the product. For example, this pet bed, since we are on the pet week, um, has a preview here that shows the product. This is a listing product, the listing photo that we can have as a default, but the options loaded by Customily and the template that is waiting here for your interaction will change the moment you type something. And in fact, you can actually interact in many ways. So you see the live previews changing, the product looks amazing, looks realistic, and you get to see how it's going to look with your customization in here. Now, this preview is done by loading a template on the page, and as well as the options. And these two elements, the template and the options, are created in Custom. So you will see that we can actually bring products from print-on-demand providers, but also if you have your own products and you follow the steps of creating a template from scratch, you'll be able to create the options automatically because Customily can offer you that. And then you can connect to your existing product. As simple as that. So another thing about Customily is what about the new tools, the Customily 2.0 features? Now, this is our latest update for Shopify stores and allows you to create and publish personalized products easier, faster, and better than before. Now, those starting your stores from scratch will have more interest in this section because you can choose a product directly from a print-on-demand supplier, add a design to it, and get it published in your Shopify store, all from the Customily app. Also, with the print-on-demand providers that have an API connection, all the fulfillment processes will be automated. This means that once you receive a purchase, all the order details and the ready-to-print file will be sent to the corresponding POD provider automatically for fulfillment and shipping. And that's the great advantage of Customily. You will not only get a live preview of your product for your customers, but at the same time, you're getting the print file ready with the same information that your customer input. So it saves you a lot of time. It cuts the middleman, cuts the back and forth emails with previews and ideas and concepts. Everything goes is directly to the customer hands. They will input whatever they want, preview that exactly as it's going to be, and you will get that information ready to print without having to do anything else. Now, another interesting feature for Shopify users is the free access to Customily's design libraries. This means that you can find designs ready to use and sell, or you can use this exclusive Clipper collection, which is royalty free, to create your own art. And we're going to go through that, and I encourage you to check other live sessions. Each live session will have a description of what is showing and the concept going through, because as you can see, there are 4 different paths you can explore with Customily 2.0. And we have done series of examples of this along different live sessions. You can work with a print-on-demand provider who has its own product catalog and add a design from Customily's library to it. This is the fastest path, the one that allows you to have published products ready to sell in minutes. You can work with a print-on-demand provider, but choose to add your own designs to their products. In this case, you will have to populate your design library before being able to publish products in your store. On the other hand, if you have your own products and are not interested in working with a print-on-demand provider, the way to go is to start by populating your product-based library first. After you have your own product mockups, you can choose to add a design from Customily's collection, and then you will create the product really fast. Or you can, of course, add your own designs to your own products. And this is the path that involves more time, but once you have all your product mockups and all your designs set up, it's just a mix and match game, and you'll be able to create and launch new products really fast. So now that we have the different alternatives clear, we're going to create some products together. We're going to be exploring today this scenario here. We're going to pick a product from a print-on-demand supplier and create our own design. This is very interesting because you have seen in previous live sessions that we use a product and we use Customily designs. In fact, I did some testings today, and matching is always really amazing. And the cool thing is, if by any chance fitting is not that super perfect because there are design proportions or areas you want to rearrange, you can always edit whatever you create in Customily. There's no limitations, there's no boundaries that you need to respect. Whenever you bring products from the POD, whenever you create Customily designs, you can always go to the template, remember the main file that loads the preview, and change whatever you want. And we can check that later today. What I want to do now is create the product that I showed you before. We're going to create this product. But before we need to start from the beginning. Imagine I'm a Shopify store owner. I want to start selling personalized products and just install Customily to try it out. Here is the main menu of Customily, the main area. When you install, you get a beautiful onboarding, and I encourage you to follow that because it will refresh some of the things that we are covering in live sessions. We'll guide you through the interface and the different areas of Customily. It's really quick and really easygoing, definitely. So when we get to this point, we have on the left bar 6 sections. The first 3 sections are shortcuts to the 2.0 tools, and the other 3 sections are the main core of Customily. Here you can explore, manage, and create your templates, upload and organize your assets in libraries, color libraries, fonts, vectors, and images. And you can see all your connected products in the store section, as well as change many settings that will help you customize the front-end experience of your customers. Like I said, today we're going to create the product I showed you at the beginning, the pet bed, okay? And for this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an existing product from a print-on-demand provider, and I'm going to create a design, okay, for that product, because I may put Customily designs, but I want to do something different. So I start off in Customily, and just as the big button says, we're going to create new product. Now, if you're wondering about this existing product from your store, this section is developing to have better tools, but right now, whenever you go into your store section here, or as well as in here, you go to products, or you go to store, is the same. you're going to the product list, and you will see every product you have on your Shopify store. Those that have a check are the ones that have Customily connected, and those that don't have that are just regular products that are showing in your store. And there's nothing you need to do about them if you don't want to. Customily will not interfere with them. But this is the best way to go and see what you have right now in your store, connected or not connected, and what you can connect of your existing products. But today we're going to create a new one. So when we talk about create, it's actually creating the product on the store. So there's nothing in your store right now and you want to create a new product. So you need to have two things. You need to have the product information and the design information. When you combine those two things, you create the template. And the template is the one that loads here and allows you to change this. Like that. So I'm going to click and create new product. Okay. As you can see, there's a list of print-on-demand providers that we have integrated with, and those that indicate automatic fulfillment means they have API connection. And so if you have account with them and you have your API, you can actually input that and finish the integration. So whenever someone customizes a product using Customily and buys that product, and that product was created in this interface, it will be connected to the print-on-demand provider, and the print file will be sent automatically. So you don't have to download anything, you don't have to manually send anything. As long as a product has been created here and is connected to the print-on-demand provider, it will work automatically over API. Before we get into this, how will you put your APIs? Because I'm pretty sure that there's a recurring question there. Staying on this page, you can just go to settings here. And even if you have a lot of things to explore here, and we're going to create a live session that is dedicated to this section because it's really amazing on the preview behaviors and the styles and everything else, even developer settings, that we have a space for you to go crazy with the code and put CSS, put JavaScript. But just for now, if you go to integrations, you will see that here you can add integrations to your account. For example, I have Printify, and I can add, for example, custom cast. So I enable this, it will show up here, and I need to just put the API key. Now, to grab this API key, if you don't know, there's information on each one, okay, and how to put things together so it's working perfectly well. Once you're done, you save the settings, and you're ready to go here. Okay, so let's start with we wanted to do a pet product, so we're going to find the pet product. When I click on any print-on-demand provider, for example, Printify, I will get the catalog. Maybe not the full catalog, but a lot of things that they can offer, and whatever you want to sell that you do not see here already integrated with Customily, just send us an email and request that product, and we're going to add that right away. All we need to do is do the API connection. So let's find the pet bear. Yeah, that's the one I want. Okay. Basically, you will have one or more providers depending on the product, and you will have one or more variants in color or sizes depending on the product. Here you can select anything you want to market, and Customily will adapt the design later. So I'm going for these two, which are the round ones, and click next. Now, this is the interesting part. You could actually create something using Customily designs. There is a lot of designs here to play with, are really amazing. On the pets, you have like 9 pages of stuff that can give you the design or can just inspire you to use like this character with different dogs, or changing the sofa, for example. I mean, I don't like this context, so I create this, but then I go inside and I change the sofa, and that's something that definitely can be done and looks amazing, and it's your freedom to do that any way you want. But if I don't want to use this, I want to use my own designs, I need to create that first. So I need to go to the Start menu or to My Designs and find the big button here to create a new design. Okay? So, starting off, I'm going to call this the live session pet bed. And we create. So when you start off creating a new design, usually you start off with a square canvas, and you can keep that square. Usually square designs fit in most products really easy. But if you know for a fact that your products will have a specific size or a specific proportion, you can resize this design so you don't have to refit anything, and you don't have to expect any edges or anything that will be off. I mean, you want this to be a full print for your pet bed, so we're going to resize this. Okay, and well, we double check this before, and this is 52 by 42. It's a 50 by 40, the biggest size, but we actually have 2 inches of wrapping around and stitches. So we know this, and we are ready to edit this. And now, if you recall my example, I have a background. The background that I have, actually, I took it from internet. It's not, I mean, it's not high quality. So, but if you are designers or you're working with Canva, with Photoshop, or for Illustrator, or any other software that involves design, you create really big images and really high quality images. This is the place to upload them, because they will be safely stored in our servers, and you will never expose them to the front end. The front end will always have a low quality WebP. So I actually took the image, I resized that so it would look nice, because it was kind of a portrait proportion. And what I need to do is create a dynamic image. Remember, this object is meant for holding our assets, and this is meant for giving customers the chance to upload something. So I created a dynamic image, and I want to upload not many, but just one. This one. Yeah, that's my background. So I can stretch this to the edges, okay? But because we like precision, we're going to expand the transform tab and input exactly our dimensions that are showing here. One dimension is like this. The other one is like that. Yeah, and it's off center. So I have these alignment tools that are really handy, and I'm going to just align to the center and align to the middle. Now that we have our background, if we open the layers tab, you'll see that you have a new item. This item has ID number 1. So if I were to customize this with options, I will need to make sure that I'm talking to object number 1. So I'm going to change this to background, like that. Double click and enter. Now the cool part, I'm going to create text elements. As you saw, I created a text box before, and this text box, actually, we're going to put this somewhere around this cloud. Yeah, we're going to resize this so it looks pretty. Then I say that's perfect. And I'm going to try with something. Try with, like I said, pause. Yeah, it's pretty small, right? So let's play around with the fonts and the sizes. I open the character tab here, and I can select one or many fonts. In fact, you can have a library full of fonts. Libraries update when you modify them, so keep that in mind. And so what I can do is, okay, right now this is a 50-point character. It's pretty small, so I can just go to the maximum size and start extending and making bigger. Pretty much I'm going up to, I don't know, 70. Yeah, it's stopped at 147. Actually, that's the biggest one, the biggest size it can go. So I can just put like this. Yeah, that size will not show. Yeah, in fact, if I have only one line, it's going to, it can be bigger actually. Yeah, perfect. Now if I want this to be smaller, because I'm going to start typing, I'm going to do like see, I keep shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. Why? Because I reached the end of the box and I keep going smaller, smaller. How small? Until you set the minimum size. In this case, it's too small. It's this, though. So this is not possible to print. We need to do some controlling here. So I'm going to just put 120, for example, and see that that actually works. It's stopping there. But if I set the automatic multi-line, it will actually jump to another to another line. If I keep shrinking this, I will allow more characters because it's going to be smaller and smaller. Yeah. The purpose of this design will not look nice because it's kind of small. Yeah. So I'm going to keep this in 2 lines. Yeah, like that. Now that we have one text, I can open the layers and see here. So this is the pet. I can actually call this the type your pet's name. Keep in mind doing this because this will then show here. So it saves you time. And now comes the fun part. I'm going to clone this because I'm going to replicate this any way I want. So I could actually select this, hit Control C and Control V, and then I will create a new item, but this item will be number 3. So if I change this one will not change. And we actually want a design that will change altogether. So instead of having the ID number 3, we want to have the ID number 2. So that way, they both change together. That's the trick about IDs. The fact that you can actually set up the same content on many objects at the same time. And also to save you time, instead of copying pasting you and changing IDs, you can just duplicate. This button here will create clones everywhere. And the concept is the same. This is a text element, the same ID, the same content. All we need to do, if we clone this again and we want to make this smaller, we can actually do that. Won't have any problem at all. Yeah, and now we're going to duplicate again. Yeah, for this one, and again for this one. Yeah, and once more down here. I'm not going to do all of them, just the big ones. Yeah, and one more. Yeah, like that. So now we have the design all said and done. There's a lot of clones here. Okay, very important to know that these are all the same. So you actually don't need all these text fields. You need just one text field. And you input on one text field, and all of these will behave exactly the same way. Like that. With the design ready, we're going to save it. And if you have checked previous live session, you will see that when you create a design, you create also the options, because Customily is trying to save you time and optimize things for you. So when you find your design in the My Design section, you will see that there's a button here that says Edit Options. And this is very handy because if you edit the options here, when you create your products, these options will look amazing and will not look like this, basically, with a lot of cloned items. Okay, and we don't want all these options. We just want one option, the type your pet's name. So the others will, since they are all the same, we are going to delete that here. And we have an option, only an option. Yeah, inside this text input, we can set an initial value, set a placeholder. Placeholder, I like one, so I'm going to go Yeah, this is a suggestion. And characters, well, let's try what's, I don't know, 16. We're going to limit the number of characters so customers cannot type like crazy. Yeah, and oh, very important, we wanted to have these jump lines. Remember, we had 2 lines, so we are going to offer a text area in here. So that's what you can do about the options to make them more customized. And now that you have the design, we go back to the beginning. We don't have any errors. We create new product, find the POD, find the product, select the variant, select from my designs, and wait for Customily. Now a new product is being created. A new product listing with a picture with the information from the print-on-demand provider. So we have the right print area, we have the right mockups. In this case, mockups are coming from the print-on-demand provider. But if you are dealing with your own products, you have your mockups, or you can create your mockups just by using any graphic editor, any image editor. Just need an image of a product empty, and you put the customization on top of that. Basically, Customily works on images. So when you start off with Customily, it's important to have images, to have your product images in different colors and different materials, have examples of a customization done, mockups without any customization, whatever you need to make this work. Okay, and in this case, the mockup is working fine for both sizes, because actually they share the same proportion. And let's do something like this. Yeah, I like this one. And that's the preview. We can save this. Now, this is a really cool shortcut. I can save this right now as my listing photo. Instead of going to the product and grabbing the preview, saving the image, and going to Shopify, this is a cool shortcut that you get at this point. Another shortcut is this, editing the product details. So I can call this, so I can check it out later on my store, the live session pet mail. The variants are here, and we have the chance to put the prices here. So this, for example, just to save you time, you can always do this in Shopify, but this shortcut saves you time, and we are all set and ready to publish. Right, so we have this product, these 2 variants, changing prices, like the variants say, changing templates on the sizes and everything, and then you can type anything. Like that. If you see the sizes are not all filling, what you need to do is just adjust the minimum size. Remember, we talked about the minimum size and how much it would allow to have, I don't know, 120 as as a minimum size. Well, sometimes it's important to double check that and check the minimum sizes to see if everything is working and fitting, because I reduce the size of some of these text elements. Most likely some of them are not fitting the minimum size. Yeah, so it's important to always double check. It's important that you see those things here and you know how to troubleshoot them. Now, let's check for a second a particular product. This one, this heavy cotton t-shirt, this Halloween, better with a cat. Maybe let me go to the last ones and check out this testing that I was doing of phone case we are going to be releasing. So we wanted to do some checking. Okay, I'm going to edit. This is a template. Remember, the template is what loads here as the preview, has all the graphic information of the product and the options available. Now, after you have your template, then the options will be created for that template. So maybe you have a design that involves 1 cat. Okay. Maybe you have a design that involves 2 cats or 6 cats. In any case, you have all the graphic information set up on the template, and you play around and you shuffle through the options by and different possibilities using the options displayed. Okay, so when you check here on your templates, you get to see the graphic interface and check out how this is done. I'm not going to get into the libraries, don't worry, but it's important to understand this particular design. Basically, here we have the print area of one of the phone cases, okay? And we have all the group of items that compose this design. We have this organized in layouts. This means that this has 6 cats, this has 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the advantage of organizing this in layouts is that Customily will understand this separation and automatically will create this dropdown and be able to control each text field, each category, each graphics they will show or hide depending on the layout you have selected. So that is fully automated if you organize your designs inside the same product like this. So let me show you, for example, one cat. So we're going to be working with less information on screen. If I open this and expand this, I have 3 items, right? So when you customize something in Customily, you get a lot of things that you can play with and organize. You can create text boxes like this one. This will allow your customers to type in something. You can test. In this process, you can test, of course. See, in the chapter, you can select the fonts and you can select the sizes. That's a text field, a text box. The same can be done in a curved text box, okay? And the other tools are as follow. Now, placeholders, vectors, or image are objects that will allow your customers to upload their own images. Very important when you're creating products that involve photo collage or photo arrangements and displays. So customers will have a placeholder, an object that will also be indicated with a button that says upload your file, basically. And you'll be able to upload that from your phone, from your computer. Another great tools that we have are the maps. These customizable maps are objects that you can pick a location, pick the style, and customize your map. Really amazing. Also, the star maps is a location plus a date, and they have a lot of styles, are really beautiful. We have done these items on other live sessions that I encourage you to watch. But most important, we have 2 objects here called dynamic images and vectors. A dynamic image, for example, is an object that can hold as many images as you want. If you have one image and you just grab this dynamic image, basically, okay, and you can upload images. If you upload one image, basically you're uploading a background, a static graphic, anything you have that you have created on your Photoshop on your Canva, and it's part of your design. Then what you can do is keep adding more images, one by one or bulk. You can upload 20 images at once and together. And what will happen is that this object will now have 20 images, and you can browse through those images to check them out using this option here. So when you click on one, nothing shows because the first image, we usually keep that blank, so nothing shows up at the beginning. Otherwise, everything will show in the first position, trying to always show something. But if you go to the second one, you find the first cat. Yeah, because I uploaded cats. So the first one is another cat, and actually I have over 30 cats, so I'm going to just check out the number 30 to see how it looks. Yeah, like that. So I can actually upload everything one by one. But what if I want this to be systemized on many items and many designs all together? What I do is I go to libraries and I create my libraries, because basically when you create a library, you create a database that can update whatever is using that library. So if you have images, right? So for example, I'm going to find the cat because this is a cat product. Have full color frontline cats. This is just a library that I created. I have a lot of cats, okay? And the thing is, I have so many cats that I cannot show you over 100 cats here because it's going to be overwhelming. I need to categorize them in order to show around 30 or 40 per category. Yeah, so I came up with these categories, right? So if I have a lot of graphics and I have them all organized in one single folder, say that this is too many information for my customers. So I'm going to create subfolders and put the right cuts in the right folder. One folder will be short hair, then long, Scottish, and things. And what I do with that information is I upload that to Customily. So if I know I'm going to be changing cuts within this unique dynamic image, each of the dynamic image can be connected to a library. So I create a library. I call this library full color frontal cuts. And when I go to edit this library, let's create something. It has nothing to do with cuts, but I have information and I want to use that. So I'm going to use this as a test. Okay, I create a new library. Yeah, I find that on my list and I go to edit. Now I have a lot of, I don't know, hairstyles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create, instead of adding images all together and have them all together and showing all together the options, I'm going to create categories. So I create a category called, the first one is, I don't know, blonde. Yeah. And I need to add a thumbnail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a thumbnail on my on my computer. So I actually have some female hair here. Yeah. And I can actually go for the blonde. I have hairstyles like this. I have female hair. Let me see if I can. I have some images. Oh, I thought I had images, but when it comes to thumbnails, I can just pick a thumbnail like that. Yeah. And that can be later changed, but it's something that that we need to categorize this anyway, because then Customily will create this. So if I have these images, these short hair, long hair thumbnails, I can use them, okay? But I'm going to create one category, and then I'm going to create another category that is brunette. I'm going to go for this. Yeah. So now that I have two categories, I can just go and edit the first one. Yeah. And start adding my images, right? So all my all these blonde hairstyles, right? For example, I want to offer only blonde hairstyles. Yeah. Like that. And I'm going to add 8 files. Perfectly. Now, the great thing is, if tomorrow I have a new design, I can just add another image here and it will update on our product or any other product that has these graphics. So whatever product is using this library will be updated if I change this name, if I remove this option or add 20 more options. It will update, and so you'll be able to quickly manage your assets really fast in the library without going to inside each template. So let me go back and go to brunette, edit, add image. We're going to start off where we left, and we're going to grab the brunettes that we find, something like this, yeah, and like this. Yeah. So eventually we're going to have a total in this library of 14 images. Okay. I'm going to go back, and now we have the library set. So if I go back to my template, to my design, instead of having hundreds of cuts, I can just remove this library and pick a new one, find that on my list, select this, yeah, and I will get the first image. Now, I remember there were like 14 images, so if I go to the last one, I will get this one. In the 15, there's nothing, yeah, that's because that's the end of the library. But if tomorrow I add another image, I will find that here. Okay, and well, I got there like this. Okay, so if you want to upload things to your libraries, those clip arts are yours by default. I mean, these hairstyles are already in my computer because, for example, you can have your own design team. You can buy them on a marketplace where you buy batches of clip art with people and stuff. Okay, so uh, in any way you get your assets, you organize them and you upload into libraries. So if you're going to be changing the skin color of a man, is male body regular, you will need to have upload images of skin tones. Yeah, so you have a library of skin tones options. Then you have libraries for silver hairstyles, blonde hairstyles. You have libraries. Let me go to something first. So this one has female gray. There's a lot of things about. Just trying to find pants. I have a lot of libraries. Sorry. Yeah. And in this case, we have cats. In this case, we have well, for example, this cartoon style. So we have libraries. For example, this library is for glasses, right? Why? Because we want to offer the glass option. So I'm just going to check out what it is. Basically, is this image. Yeah. So Customily will see that you have an object in your template, right? I'm going to pick that library, and so you will see that there's an object here with glasses, and I can actually create another dynamic image and find the girl that will look like this. So let me see if I can find a cartoon style. We have changes of glasses, changes of lip colors, eye colors, arms, pants, shoes, hairstyles, and the body here. So I can actually pick a body. Yeah, like that. Okay, so scale is not the same. Don't worry. Just grab this. Oh, no worries. I was just experimenting, so I'm just going to put this here. Yeah, I just resize this and make sure it's whatever it has to be. So now your customer has a choice in which they can actually select the glasses style and they can select the skin color as well. That's how you build this kind of characters. You have pieces of the character based on what you want to offer as options. If you want to offer hairstyles, you have libraries for hairstyles, skin colors, eye colors, glasses, clothing, hats, anything you want. If you have that in your collection, if you have that in your possession, you can upload that in Customily and use it on any design by going through libraries. So there's no limitation here on using Customily designs. You can have your own assets, you can have your own clip art, and upload them right there. I really hope you now have things clear as to how to create your products using Customily, in this case, using a POD and your own design, and playing around with the IDs so you can duplicate the effect on other objects, right? Same can go with uploading images. So if you upload your customer uploads an image and you want that image to be replicated on many parts, you just keep on duplicating the original item and moving that around, and it will always behave the same way. That's the trick about duplicating and using the same ideas. As you know, we have a support email, support@customily.com, with our agents always helping you out with your doubts and your questions. We also have them on a live chat on the app. Live chat is open on business hours EST mostly. Right now it's open. And also, you can always share ideas and questions in our Facebook communities. They're really active with people trying around and checking new ideas, giving you the latest trending products and designs, for example. So it's all for today. It was a different kind of live session, but I was really happy to be asked about the libraries. I was really happy to show you how to create categories, how to create and upload your images. Um, Keep an eye on clipart batches that can be sold on different stores and different marketplaces. Those are great places to grab unique items that you can upload to Customily. There's no limitation in what you can upload to Customily. And you can also use Customily designs and Customily cliparts any way you want. I thank you all again and have a great rest of the day. See you next Tuesday.